A giant fight erupted on what passengers are calling the cruise ship from hell. Welcome back to What's Trending, I'm Cheryl Lazar. Be sure to like this video and subscribe for more trending news daily. The recording goes on for several minutes with passengers hitting each other and security struggling to break it up. The security guards in here are really having a hard time doing their jobs. One of them is straight up kicking a woman on the ground.
The security, I saw them hit. I also saw them hit a younger girl who saw her mum getting hit. So she was in distress saying, stop hitting, stop hitting. And then they hit her across the face.
And at a certain point, the man recording the video is threatened by a crew member who demands he stops filming.
Hey, get up from no, get up from here. Get up from here. Out from here, I'm telling you. I'm allowed to. I'm legal. Out from here.
Carnival is admitting that their security team is not innocent in all of this. They tweeted, the actions seen on the video by our security team are not in line with our values and policies. We are conducting a full investigation and will take appropriate corrective action as necessary. So how did this whole thing begin? Well, apparently it was over a pair of sandals. Passenger Zach said that one of his family members stepped on the sandal of another person and apologized. But apparently that wasn't enough for the offended family, who followed and harassed the family of the sandal stepper for days. That's what happens when you're really bored on a cruise. I mean, couldn't they have just spent their time distracted by water aerobics? I mean, that's what my mom does when we're at resorts and everything. One passenger said they were looking for trouble the minute they got on the ship.
David from Melbourne says he got a frantic call from his son George on board the ship. This is George with the head wounds.
So despite violent assaults, no criminal charges have been filed. But all 23 members of what's being described as a big Italian family were removed from the ship a day before returning to its home port of Melbourne. What family goes on a ship with 23 people? That's a family looking for trouble. Was it like a reunion, or was this just like one big ass family? Is it like a mafioso family? Because that's a family you don't want to mess with. Okay, let's drop those Italian stereotypes and move on. Jews have big families too. We just don't go on vacation together because it's too expensive or cheap. And I'm Jewish, so I could say that. And as Australia's A Current Affair reports, these types of incidents are not isolated.
Mum Sharon says a dozen bars open all day and night was a cocktail for disaster on her recent cruise.
There was no one to supervise. There were fights breaking out. We had unlimited drinks packages, right?
I mean, it's not surprising. You get a bunch of different people from different backgrounds on a boat, nowhere to go, a bunch of alcohol. I mean, it's like a reality show waiting to happen. I'm surprised this type of stuff doesn't happen more often. And you know, when the cabin fever begins, that's when shit really goes down. And in more horrific transportation news that's trending, on this Transavia flight, passengers got into a fight because one of them wouldn't stop farting. This story is just hilarious because, come on, admit it, we all fart on flights. And you wonder, does anyone smell? Could this ruin someone's experience because basically we're not moving? Is the air even going anywhere? I'm admitting it. And you know I'm not alone. And in that moment, you didn't even realize I just farted. I said that whole script while farting, actually. So this is what went down. 2 passengers alerted flight attendants to the issue, who ignored it. When pilots were unable to stop the group from fighting, they were forced to make an emergency landing. I mean, please, I hope someone filmed this because I want to know what this argument was like. 4 people were removed from the plane. The one person, Nora L, says that her removal wasn't deserved. She was not part of the fighters or the farters. So give her a break. It was like the West Side Story of farting on that plane. Nora goes on to say, it was crazy that we were included. We had no idea who these boys were. We just had the bad luck to be in the same row and we didn't do anything. See, life is unfair. You get put in the wrong place, at the wrong time, and shit will go down. The 4 removed passengers have been banned from future flights on Dutch airline Transavia. And if you're wondering, no one has come forward to admit that they were the farting culprits. So I guess we will never know. So what are your flight from hell or cruise from hell stories? Let us know in the comments below. Be sure to like and subscribe for more of What's Trending. And you can watch us on TBD Tuesdays at 9 p.m.